Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. So Athalia has just come out to the VN server and she has been buffed since the Pioneer server. We're gonna go through her buffs and talk about, does this change anything for her? Is she gonna be more important to pull? And my overall opinion about it for most people out there. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the changes which have happened. Number one, her ultimate ability, Unbroken Retribution. It will now begin with 300 initial energy before it had 0 initial energy. Of course, this will mean that she will be casting her first ultimate more quickly in the match, and her ultimate is a massive damage nuke, dealing bonus true damage up to 1500% of her attack, depending on the amount of damage that all enemies have taken in the battle up until then. Other than that, the multipliers for her ultimate are going to be the same. The major other difference here is her passive. As you guys know or may have seen, is that when Athalia takes damage that will kill her, she will continue to attack in the form of a Spirit Lance, but her attack previously was reduced by 50% in the Lance form. Now it is only reduced by 35%. So basically, in Lance form, she will have 65% of her attack. And that is a meaningful difference. It is going to cause all the skills that she casts, because she can cast any ability while in the Lance form, even her ultimate. And when she was in the Lance form and casting her ultimate, sometimes it was still enough to one-shot enemy heroes. So this is actually a really big buff. The energy is nice, but I think the fact that the damage reduction of her Lance form, this is even crazier. Now, do keep in mind that, for example, Cryonaya can still freeze Athalia before entering her Lance form if she gets caught in the Frostveil domain, and then Athalia will not be able to turn into the Lance. But for any other way of executing her, whether it be Odie, Siren, it is all going to trigger her to turn into her Lance form. So this is honestly pretty strong. You might be thinking, will this make her better for Dream Realm? How it could make her slightly better. However, the problem is that when Harak devours Athalia, Harak does not get a kill stack, number one. Number two, he stops devouring allies from that point on, which might actually be a good thing. You can position Athalia in a position where like to be devoured third, for example, where you want to stop the Harak from being devouring allies. So I think definitely it does give some more potential for Athalia, even in Dream Realm, but I don't know exactly how strong she is going to be just because of this change. But overall, this is a pretty massive buff, to be honest. Only 35% attack reduction, so we need to again see her in practice. We still don't know exactly how she's going to perform, but this is a pretty big buff, to be honest. But the thing that is even crazier than this is, like, if you thought this ultimate is a big buff, we're going to go to her other buff, which is her Vengeance Charge. This is her honestly, this is her most defining and important skill. The fact that she will jump onto the enemy who has dealt the highest cumulative damage up until that point. Now, the dash damage to that target has increased. Before, I think it was around 280 or percent as a base, and now it is up to 360%. Or it could have been that it was at 300. I think it was at 300% at base, yeah, and now it's at 360%. That is like a 20% increase in damage, and it is going to be increasing in all stages, up to 480% attack multiplier to the main target, and then 280% is the same to all enemies in the path. But it's really about that main target damage to the enemy who's dealt the highest cumulative damage. The other major thing is her cooldown is reduced. Look at it, it's a 7-second cooldown. Previously, it was a 9-second cooldown, so that's a 2-second cooldown reduction. And looking at her initial cooldown, it has been reduced from 4 to 2. This is really big, because the major other problem with Athalia was that she had to wait around for 4 seconds until she can actually dash onto the priority enemy, right? And that causes survival issues for Athalia, but it also just delays her damage burst. The fact that 2 seconds in she's going to be jumping, this is really powerful. Now, Sylvina, for example, is going to jump 0 seconds in, like immediately with first strike. If we look at her cooldown, I'm pretty sure it's a 0-second initial cooldown, or whatever it is. But Athalia has a 2-second initial cooldown, so you will just have to wait 2 seconds and then she's jumping. This is much stronger. I'm more impressed and scared about this Vengeance Charge buff compared to the ultimate buff, because the thing with the ultimate buff, the pre-fill energy is kind of nice, but the multipliers are the same. The attack reduction being less in Lance form, I think is interesting, but I still have a feeling that once she's in Lance form, she will not have the nuking power anymore, and probably your team has a big advantage when you turn Athalia into the Lance form, even after this change. But this Vengeance Charge allowing Athalia to ramp up and snowball faster, that is really crazy. Because basically what I see this ability as, this is like the Tidal Assault of Hurok, right? And I think that is on a 5-second initial cooldown. And that is, if it was on an immediate cooldown, like jumping onto the enemy who's lost the most health, like if you did Sylvina Hurok jumping onto the back enemy at the same time, they have so much value. So Athalia with this change is going to have a lot of nuking power very early on in the match, and that is a big buff for her. Okay, and even when you're talking about Dream Realm, like PvE content, this is a high damage ability, and being able to keep recasting it, and we'll see from the other abilities, like the synergy it has, but this is going to potentially allow her to be even more relevant in Dream Realm. I'm now feeling that there's gonna be some Dream Realm bosses where Athalia is gonna be good. I don't know about for Endless Dream Realm. I have a feeling probably not for Endless, maybe pre-Endless, maybe before Mythic Plus Magic Charms. We won't be able to see that because we're going to have Mythic Plus Magic Charms when she is out, pretty much. But yeah, the other abilities are going to be pretty much the same, but there is one other change. So Vanguard's Renewal, Athalia transforms into a Lance. This is exactly the same. And the advantage of this skill is really just the defenses it offers, like unaffected, reduce damage taken by 60% and recover health. The damage output from this usually isn't super high. However, if an enemy is low on health, it can just finish them off. Hero Focus is going to be the same, the critical rate and higher critical rate when you're targeting the enemy who is dealing the most damage. And this is going to come into effect more quickly because Vengeance Charge is going to go off in 2 seconds. You're going to be jumping on that backline enemy or whoever has done the highest damage. And then you're going to get that 70 crit rate onto that enemy. Divine Verdict, this I believe is exactly the same. This is exactly the same, no change to her exclusive skill. When she assists or defeats an enemy or uses her ultimate, the cooldown of Vengeance Charge resets immediately. It was already like that with the plus 15 exclusive equipment upgrade. And then finally the Enhanced Force. This is a change, I believe. I don't know, but it's saying Vengeance Charge and Sacred Slash can reduce the target shield value by up to 800%. For some reason, I thought it was just only one of these two was the one that could break to reduce the target shield value. But now both Vengeance Charge and the Sacred Slash, which means that the Sacred Slash, which goes off in 2 different straight lines, Vengeance Charge, which goes usually on a 3rd straight line, all of these are going to be able to deplete shield value basically across the map. And so if there is any sort of maybe AFK stage that has shielding, I could see a use for that. But I don't think there honestly is that much of that. I think it's mainly going to be a PvP oriented ability. But this is strong. So overall, Athalia is much better than when she was initially released on the Pioneer server. But should you be pulling her just because of these changes? The honest truth is that with all Celestial Hypogenes that come out, you should always wait and see. And like for the free-to-play light spenders, even the mid spenders, who are not basically gonna Paragon for every single Celestial Hypogene, then you should wait honestly for like a week, 10 days. See how the meta is developing. See how people are using Athalia in Supreme Arena on defense. Are you able to break through those defenses? Is it completely impossible for you? You have to give it time. Because we will know within like 10, 15 days from right now how important it is to have Athalia on your account. But right now, no one can really say for sure, is she a pull for your account or not. That being said, I can understand some people were excited about Athalia. They were planning to pull her just based off design. And they want to try to use her in PvP. Well, now because of her buffs, she has an even more reason to be pulled. But because Celestial Hypogenes are so difficult to build up, and especially for the lower spender players, you want to make sure she's useful in a lot of areas and very strong, at least in PvP, if that's her only main role, before you decide to pull her. So those are my opinions about Athalia. As of right now, you need to wait and see. This is really important, and you will never regret it. The problem is if you go all in now, or when it comes out on global, or if it's on VN server right now, you may regret your decision. Because 15 days from right now, we'll have a lot more information about should you go for it. And the thing with Celestial Hypogeans is they never have like a rate up period. You can always get them with the Gila coins. You can always get them with the Stargaze station. So you don't have any pressure to immediately try to build or anything like that. You can wait and see after a lot of testing is done. So that is my opinion. Personally, I don't know. For the pay-to-win account, I'm probably going to pull her because I'm trying to pull all Celestial Hypogeans there who at least have some meta relevancy, and I think she's probably going to have some meta relevancy. But like, there's no way I'm going to be taking her up the Paragon tiers on like early days. I need to see proof that she is very dominant in PvP before doing it, and even when you see that proof, you have to be very critical and skeptical and try every single comp you can against Athalia, because you can find a way of defeating these powerful heroes. Even when it looks like they have an unbeatable defense put together. So anyway, those are my opinions. Let me know what you think about Athalia and the buffs in the comment section down below. Are you thinking about pulling her? Are you going to wait and see? Let me know. But I hope this video is helpful. Good luck. Basically, if you do decide to pull on VN server today, then good luck with dodging the pity. But thank you guys for watching. That's gonna be it for this one. If you have not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please smash that subscribe button. Also, feel free to join my AFK Journey Discord server. There's a link to that in the description of this video, and I look forward to chatting with you guys there. But thank you for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.